the other cheat.
All right, next topic. Another Cowboy collapse. We have seen this now 3 times this season where the Cowboys have at least a 12-point lead in the fourth quarter and they let it slip away. Yesterday, Eli and the Giants scored 2 late touchdowns. They win over the Dallas Cowboys. The defense allowed the touchdown, so they're culpable. Tony Romo missed an open guy late. They get a field goal block. That, all in all, who is to blame for the Cowboys' loss?
Rob Ryan. I think the defense for the Dallas Cowboys is suspect, to say the least. I think it's been incredibly exposed. You're up 34-22 with a little over 5 minutes left after Romo connected with Des Bryant. Blown coverage by the New York Giants. Their secondary is such a huge question mark for them right now. We all know that. But that game was in the bag. Eli drives you downfield not once but twice in the game's last 5 minutes to score touchdowns.
Yeah. Wow.
Not field goals. Touchdowns. We can get into the elite play of Eli Manning another time. But if you're Rob Ryan and you're the Dallas Cowboys defense, if you have any shred of credibility whatsoever with the NFC East division on the line, considering you're fresh off of an improbable defeat to the Arizona Cardinals just a week earlier, you are not supposed. You are at the billion-dollar playpen of Jerry Jones. You are not supposed to let this happen, and he let it happen. We've made a lot of noise about Rob Ryan, okay? But the reality is that now we have to start looking at him and saying, exactly what have you done, really? What have you? I know you got the wild hairdo, and I know you're dressed the way you are, the way you carry yourself, and all that stuff. You called out the Eagles, all of this other stuff.
I'm with you.
But I need to see what exactly is it that you've done? Because clearly, looking at this defense, it ain't much.
Yeah, if his last name wasn't Ryan, I wonder what would be, would he be there?
Number one, I want to blame Eli Manning because he is elite. Remember when we did that question? He put himself in that
So you're giving him more of the credit than anybody to blame.
I'm completely with you about Rob Ryan's defense. I've been saying for about 5 weeks now, Romo on a weekly basis has saved their bacon because they've been horrible, and he cancels out their horrible breakdowns in the secondary. I thought he'd be blitzing like crazy and get pressure. They got no pressure on Eli last night. How many times did he just stand back there and just...
He sat back there taking pictures, sending photos to his brother. Crying out loud. That's how comfortable he was.
I must say, all that said, and Jason Pierre-Paul's great block on the second one, and Coughlin had the wherewithal to call the timeout and ice him and get the second kick going and blocked. Okay. All that said, this game still was a one-play game to me because if you're the Dallas Cowboys at home, let's take a look at this play. You got 3rd and 5. You got Miles Austin single covered, and there it is. Whose fault was that? Was that Choker Romo's fault? No, that was Miles Austin's fault. Now, he's coming off his hamstring. I think he's a little ginger, a little iffy with that hamstring. He's a little afraid to hit 5th gear. He wanted to keep it in 4th gear.
He may not have 5th gear.
He may not have a 5th gear.
Maybe he doesn't have it. But listen, that's the ball game because if he catches it, I'm pretty sure they can run enough of the clock that Eli can't do what Eli did. And I at least want Miles to lay out for that ball. Leave your feet, even if you got a hamstring, lay out and try to fingertip it off the carpet because he's got good hands. He could have made that play. Now, Romo said afterwards that Miles told him he lost it in the lights. I did not love Tony saying that after the game because I wanted Tony Romo to be the leader of the football team for once and just say, my fault. I'll take the blame. I want somebody to stand up there after the game. Jason Garrett's not going to do it. DeMarcus Ware's not going to do it, even though he was offsides twice, lined up offsides twice in the fourth quarter. Your best defensive player? Are you kidding me? Okay, I want somebody to say it was my fault after the game. And Romo,
like Andy Reid has been doing all year in Philly.
I agree.
But listen,
and Romo basically threw Miles under the bus, and maybe he deserved to be thrown under the bus.
Actually, I don't think you're thrown under the bus if you lost something in the lights. It can happen if you've been in that stadium.
Do you want your quarterback to divulge that publicly?
But what I'm saying to you is that then there's the hamstring injury, and I understand what you're saying, okay? And with DeMarcus Ware, to me, that highlights my point about Rob Ryan. Maybe he was offsides because, I mean, he's the freak. He's constantly trying to look for ways to get to the quarterback, make things happen. Why, Skip? You want to overcompensate because you know guys ain't getting it done.
And by the way, he's got a stinger that's bothering.
That's right. Your secondary is getting picked apart by Eli Manning. this ultimately, no matter what you say, it brings it back to Rob Ryan. You're up 34-22.
Get a stop.
With more than 5 minutes left. Okay. In the fourth quarter, arguably your season's on the line.
You're at home against a division rival in a night game. And you can't hold a 12-point lead with 5.5 minutes to go. Then you know what? You don't deserve to be in the playoffs with that defense. They don't. You don't deserve it. I'm sorry.
It comes down to him. And not only that, how many times have we said we've seen more pictures, we've seen more shots, rather, of Rob Ryan than we have of Jason Garrett, than we have of some of the players. They have tried to make this guy into an elite coordinator, a head coach in waiting. And maybe he is. I'm not qualified to sit there and say this man doesn't deserve to become a head coach. All I can tell you is what I'm seeing. The Dallas Cowboys defense is beyond suspect. It intimidates nobody. You know you can pick it apart.
And they looked like a losing football team to me last night because they compounded that error by the punt, the next punt. It goes sideways out of bounds. It gives Eli a short field. Are you kidding me? That's insane. And remember, the game could have started with a pick six. Remember that? He hits Terrence Newman. Eli one bad ball.
Jumped the route and it was right in his hands.
Hits him right in the hands. I think he's still running with it if he catches it and he drops it. Okay, that's a losing play. At home, you have to make that play. If you're a playoff team to cover for your uncovered defense, you know, you got to make a play.
Set the tone early, too. I mean, that's a big hole on the road to dig out.
It's not impressive at all.
The one thing we've learned about the NFC East is just every time you kick dirt on a team, I mean, look where we were in the Giants coming into this.
The other thing,
it's not over.
One last point, too. Mr. Brandon Jacobs did not have a bad game.
No,
he was running over dudes.
Angry.
And let me tell you this. He talked smack about the Cowboys coming into the game. So once again, this is your defense. He's running his mouth. He hasn't been running effectively for the vast majority of this season. Everybody's been talking about this is the end of Mar Bradshaw goes down. What is he going to give you? He's talking smack.
I agree.
En route to coming into your house.
I agree.
For a nationally televised Sunday night game, and then you still let him do what he did.
And with Bradshaw benched, too.
I completely agree. Final point. Tony Romo has taken a lot of abuse on this show. And I have defended him. And last night, he played great, and Eli played better. Bottom line.
He played great, but Eli was sensational.
I'm not sure Eli's ever played better than
on another level. On another level.
Yeah. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, a testy Tom Brady goes off on his offensive coordinator after his coordinator went off on him. We welcome to the party Eric Mangini. Welcome to the debate desk, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
A lot to talk about, you know.
I know.
And
it's your old team.
It's good that you're here now because we're going to talk about your old team.